Hey, hello, happy Monday Night Football day for us regular folks. It's just a Monday, the work week starts back up. Or for us, DFS, obsessed folks and parlay slappies, as I mentioned on Sunday Night Football video. Today is Monday Night Football. It is going to be a fantastic game. Little smidge better than Sunday Night Football, but I did my best to warn you that the final score was pretty close to what I predicted. It was an under kind of game. This one, however, Monday Night Football, the Denver Broncos go to Buffalo to take on the Bills, is going to be spectacularly over in every facet imaginable. Before I get into the game, some point spreads, some betting trends, and one odd that something that Denver's doing that is like unbelievably bad, but in favor of the Bills. So before I get into all that, make sure you go to the website at fantasy6pack.net. When you get there, look at all the premium options. You only got a couple bucks. I know Thanksgiving is on the horizon. Then it's Christmas, and you got to give gifts out, or you got to save money for gifts. Why can't you give a couple of your friends or family, whatever it is, a premium membership to fantasy6pack.net? The cheapest one is $9.99 a month, and that grants you full access to everything that's going on, not only in the Discord, but on the website. All the articles, you can get the premium options and sample lineups and ownership percentages. And you want me or Dave or Keith or Joe, anybody possible, at your beck and call in the Discord, that's the way to do it. Top 5, top 10 rankings, just the fantasy, fantasy six pack stays, higher up in terms of rankings, and then our DFS content is second to none. Let's be honest here, still waking our way through the whole game of it all, but we are here to stay. Back to the football game here, as I said, Denver at Buffalo. Kickoff is at 8:15 p.m. And to be fair, I'm expecting a little bit more action, some more fireworks than we had on Sunday night. Actually, of all the games on the main slate for Week 10, the Lions and Chargers was fantastic. The Browns beat Baltimore. That was a high-scoring affair. I think this game kind of is a lot, not better than those games, but almost rivals it, almost in comparison to Denver at Buffalo was along the same lines as the Chargers in Denver, or the excitement of the Browns coming back to beat Baltimore. So when we say this one kicks off at 8:15 promptly, we can take that to court or school, however you want to do that one. Right now, the over-under is at 46.5 total points. You love to see that. Sunday night was 10 less points than this. Denver 3-5, Buffalo 5-4. Both teams are probably not where they want to be, especially Buffalo. But a win on Monday Night Football, one win at a time, can solve a lot of things. Final score, we'll wait till the end. Let's start with the quarterback, shall we? We have Russ Wilson and Josh Allen. Was there a point in time when both quarterbacks were kind of even? They're on the same pedestal, and now it's swayed one way, to Josh Allen's favor. But again, he's not been that 300 yards, 3 touchdowns a game kind of guy we're all expecting to see it. But we can kind of count on that here tonight. Let's start with Russ Wilson. First of all, Denver goes to Buffalo. Buffalo right now 4th overall against opposing quarterbacks. Russ is going to have his work cut out for him. And on FanDuel, $15,000, DraftKings 9.4, Yahoo $22. I think Russ Wilson is a nice play tonight if you want to save a couple $1,000. You want a quarterback, you want to save a couple $1,000. Russ Danger Wilson, 21 to 22 completions, around 235 yards. I'm thinking Russ throws for 2 touchdowns. It's going to be that. Can he get to that 3rd touchdown on the ground, right? With his legs, like I'm predicting Josh Allen to get done here tonight. I think, Russ Wilson and Josh Allen are going to be close in terms of touchdowns. The yardage is where Josh Allen kind of blows Russ out of the water here. Let's get to that. Josh Allen hosting the Denver Broncos. Denver, 27th overall against opposing quarterbacks. Josh Allen is going to have his way, but the final score is kind of strange, man. We'll get into it. I'm getting ahead of myself. Josh Allen, $17,500 on FanDuel, $12,600 on DraftKings, $41 on Yahoo, 24 to 25 completions, 280 yards, throws for 2 touchdowns, and I think Josh Allen hangs 35 to 40 yards on the ground with his legs, and he finds the end zone in a rushing fashion. So to me, Josh Allen, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, that's where you're going to want to be, but it's going to cost you a huge chunk of your money, and it's like, well, it depends. How do you want to move the pieces around? Like we talked about last night. When we look at the running backs, This is where to attack this game. And you would think, well, you got Josh Allen throwing for 280 yards, a pair of touchdowns. Well, the DVP for both teams against opposing wide receivers is a little tight, 15th and 17th respectively. But when you look at the running backs here, Buffalo 18th overall against opposing running backs. Javonte Williams is a must-have here tonight. And you look at the Denver Broncos, dead last against opposing wide receivers. That makes James Cook a must-have here tonight. Let's start with Javonte. As I said, Buffalo 18th overall against opposing running backs. Javonte, $12,000 on FanDuel, 7-2 on DK, $17 on Yahoo, 14-15 carries, 65, maybe gets to that 70-yard marker around there. 3 to 4 receptions, another 30 yards, and I think Javonte is a lock to find the end zone on the ground, in the air. The only way that really matters is if you're a parlay freak and you're looking, which way is he going to score? How about you just lock in an anytime touchdown and we can be in peace? Other than that, Jaleel McLaughlin, Samaje Perines kind of fell out of favor. I'm all good there. You want to double back to those guys after you get your initial 3 to 4 players locked in and you're looking to kind of, cut salary. You could look that direction. I would prefer kind of putting in like a Latavius Murray if you needed some salary relief. But let's talk about James Cook briefly as problem, locking in Javonte at MVP and then Cook in a flex and then vice versa. Cook an MVP captain and then Javonte in the flex spot. James Cook, $11,000 on FanDuel, $10,000 on DK, $20 on Yahoo. 14 to 15 carries. 75 to 80 yards, and he will find the end zone as well on the ground. You can lock it on the ground. James Cook, 2 to 3 receptions, 20 to 25 yards. You wanted to get, you're like, what? I'm not going to fade the Buffalo wide receivers per se, but I want to really lock in that Buffalo running game on the ground. Then you're going to start building your lineup. I've done this a million times already today. You're going to lock in Josh Allen, James Cook, and Latavius Murray. You have that trifecta, that trio, and you're pretty much square in terms of rushing yardage and anything touchdown on the ground wise with those three, running backs. Latavius Murray quickly, 7-5 on FanDuel, $1,800 on DraftKings. $14 on Yahoo. Probably shouldn't mention this because I don't know too much about it. I don't like to speak on things I don't know. Leonard Fournette's going to be popping up here somewhere, somehow, unless he was completely cut. I'll have to edit this portion out. If not, we'll keep it rolling. When we look at the wide receivers here, Courtland Sutton, Jeudy, Marvin Mims, the coaching staff has said, we're going to do everything we can to get Marvin Mims involved here in this game. And again, do we think it happens here tonight? This would be a perfect time to start a kind of, showcase, what we're about. And the DVP kind of supports that stuff, right? Buffalo, right around, middle. They're 15th overall against opposing wide receivers. 32 teams in the league. Slice that in half, that's 16. And Buffalo's 15th. So they're right in the middle of the pack defending opposing wide receivers. Courtland Sutton, Jeudy. I have Courtland Sutton, to me, scoring a touchdown, but I have Jeudy with around 20 more yards. So again, it depends on how you want to build. You think it's going to be heavy on the ground kind of thing? Then you're going to start with Allen, Cook, and Murray. You think it's going to be in the air kind of game? Then lock in Russ Wilson, Sutton, and Jeudy, and we'll go from there. When we look at the Buffalo wide receivers, Diggs, Gabe Davis, you know what you're going to get there. Gabe Davis is can go off on any given slate, right? And Stefon Diggs is like that steady Eddie you can count on, double-digit targets, 7 to 8 receptions, 95 to 100 yards and a touchdown is what I have for Diggs here. He is a lock to find the end zone, anytime touchdown bet. And when you look at Gabe Davis, let me rewind really quick. Stefon Diggs, 15-5 on FanDuel, 12,000 on DK, $32 on Yahoo. Gabe Davis, 12-5 on FanDuel, and 7-4 on DK, $20 even on Yahoo. Excuse me, my writing was so small I couldn't even read it myself. The question here is Shaker, Deontay Hardy, what are we doing there? Nothing but salary relief. If I had to pick one of the two, it would be Khalil Shaker, however you want to put it. I have him around 3 to 4 receptions, so 40 yards. So in PPR formats, you're looking at around 8 to 9 points, depending on, if he falls forward a couple extra times or two. And we'll go from there. When we look at the tight ends, unfortunately, Dawson Knox is on the IR with some sort of wrist injury. And to save us some time, right? We're coming up on 10 minutes, and I want to keep it around that 10 to 12 minute mark here. I wrote down 2 tight ends, and that is it. Adam Troutman, Dalton Kincaid. And that's all it's about here. Adam Troutman at Buffalo. Buffalo 16th overall against opposing tight ends. Denver 30th overall against opposing tight ends. So of those two, I only wrote those two down because that that's where I'm going. I don't mind. This game is going to be, you know how we said yesterday, this game's going to be real tight. It's going to be unders. We got to get our lineups, locked in and how we need to do it here. In terms of the tight ends and the star power in this game, it's not going to be as sneaky and hard fought as Sunday Night Football was. It was a field goal fest. This game's going to be touchdowns aplenty here. And to be fair, I don't feel comfortable projecting Troutman or Kincaid to score a touchdown, but I have each guy, like Kincaid, 5 to 6 targets, 4 to 5 receptions, 50 to 55 yards, and Troutman, not much, 2 to 3 receptions, around 20 yards, not much going on. Of the two, obviously I would prefer Kincaid. When we look at the kickers here, I have them, even across the board in terms of extra points, 3 for 3 extra points, 2 for 2 field goals, somewhere in that range-ish, I put in my notes. And then last but not least, when we get to the DSTs here, again, I have a huge final score, 28 to 27. I'll tell you who wins here at the end after some, betting trends here. But it's not about points scored with DSTs. We've said it a million times. It's about sacks, interceptions. And to be fair, I have the Buffalo Bills, 3 to 4 sacks and an interception. That's what it's all about. Denver is prone to make a mistake. Russ Wilson, will he fumble on some sort of strip sack, or will it be, like an inexperienced guy like Jaleel McLaughlin fumbling the ball in like early in the first quarter, and then he fumbles the ball, Bills recover, and then it's just the Javante Williams show. I mean, we gotta think about every single option possible or known to man or woman, when we sit down to build a DFS line for a single game slate. A couple recent betting trends, and we will get the heck out of here. Denver 2-6-1 their last 9 games straight up. Denver 0-7 against the spread their last 7 games against Buffalo. Buffalo 0-5 against the spread their last 5 games. So these two teams, awful against the spread, especially Denver when they're playing Buffalo. The total has gone over in 9 of Denver's last 13 games, and the total has gone under in 4 of Buffalo's last 5 games. And that little stat or statistic I said is like a little nugget, and it's driving me crazy. The Denver Broncos are the only team in the NFL giving up 400 plus yards a game to an opposing team. So again, Buffalo is going to play very well. And I think they're going to therefore be a little bit laxed on defense. And Denver makes a comeback. Denver makes it a good game. So us East Coasters, we're going to be up late watching this one. At least I know I am. And give me the Buffalo Bills to come out on top in this one and win 28 to 27. So that means I'm taking the Denver Broncos plus the points as well. You can get Denver +7, +7.5. Buffalo wins this game outright, 28 to 7, but I'm okay with taking Denver and the points. Be good, be safe, and I'll see you again soon. How about Thursday Night Football or bottom of the barrel quarterbacks coming out soon? Be good, be safe. Bye-bye.